everybody, Dallas here. Very happy to see all of you on other side of the screen. Today I would like to make a short overview of Barrow Mobula Test Bench. I had this product in a store for a while, and from time to time people ask me what they can do or what they cannot do with this product, and because I never had a personal experience with this, it was sometimes hard to answer, especially because Barrow provides zero manual with the product. It just you get what you get and just a couple pictures which illustrate what you can build. Obviously it's all made with Barrow parts, and the question arises if you can use anything else and how difficult it is. So logic thought suggests that you can build anything you want, but you might need some modification, and extent of modification not really clear. So I decided to use one of those for my AM5 testing bench, because I'm going to test AM5 CPU blocks and compare them. We already did so for Intel platform, but now I would like to do the same for AMD. So I took one of those that we had in stock and built it using basically zero Barrow parts, and it's pretty monstrous product you see right there, just because I need it's a test bench, so I need the sensors everywhere, and so it's a lot of parts that you may not have to use yourself, but nevertheless I had some idea how to build the platform on this particular product, and I would like to share with you a few thoughts. So maybe it will help you if you decide to grab a similar product. So basically, what is Barrow Mobula is? It's a glorified motherboard tray with legs. That's basically what it is. It has a predefined set of holes and screws, and basically you build with what it has. It's very thick piece of aluminum. So if you would like to do any modification, it could be a little bit more difficult. It's still possible, but most likely you have to deal with what you have. So I did zero modifications there, and I built a system. What I like about overall in an open type of test bench, that you have easy access to all parts, and also all your radiators, if you're water cooling, that will have access to the unobstructed fresh air. So cooling performance usually on open type of cases is much better than in a fish tanks that most people are using, or boxes. So when you have internal ambient temperature, which is usually higher than in your room. So what is I really like about Mobula, that how it's made, you basically can have it fully horizontal, like I showed you. That's good to do some work on a motherboard, but realistically you probably don't want to have it in this position on your desk, because it just takes too much space. So what you can do, you can actually put it on any of four corners, and this will be a little bit under the angle and takes very little space. Well, naturally you will have to deal with the cable clutter and everything, but realistically that will go into vertical position, have very little space taken, and which is I like. It can be vertical. If you want, you can go on the longer side as well. That's how I mostly use it. So I have my reservoir vertically. So that's how it works. All cables will go on top, but nevertheless it works for me. So what kind of configuration it supports? Naturally you can go with all Barrow parts and just a copy of whatever is shown in the pictures. If you want to use your own parts, it's still possible. Also you limit with a number of pre-drilled, pre-tapped holes in the system. So let's start with the motherboard. Motherboard, absolutely no problem. It is installed. It is like standard motherboard tray with a pretty standard hole spacings to bolt your motherboard in. What I noticed that I probably would improve, and I know why they had it, but nevertheless it's create a little bit of additional complication. So you see that this is the CPU area that exposed, and the cutout is not big enough for CPU, which means that if you would like to remove CPU, you actually need unbolt entire motherboard of the system, which can be biggest pain in the ass. So, and it's depending of your CPU block, maybe your CPU block can be mounted from the top of the motherboard, and then it's not a problem. But for example, with EK velocity block, which mounted only from the back, so to remount this block it will require to remove motherboard, which is like totally ridiculous in my sense. But why they have it is because they have provision of mounting radiators and on the back of this motherboard tray you can have maximum of one triple and one double, and in order to facilitate screw holes for bolting radiators in, you have this opening. That's as much as they can give you. So this limitation, potentially it may affect you, may not affect you. It's affecting me in my specific scenario, but maybe it will not affect you. What I don't like about this type of attaching radiator straight to the motherboard tray on the back is the fact that it will be basically sitting on this piece of metal, and the breathing area only predefined by those holes, so it's a little bit restrictive in my mind. So if we will have, let me see how it looks. So you have an opening here, and you have a similar opening which is now covered with my triple radiator I installed in the wrong place. So it will be not as easily breathable, and it will reduce your performance. Also, you'll be blowing hot air onto your motherboard, most likely. Also, you can reverse fans if you want to, but how they show on the pictures, you're basically blowing hot air on the motherboard. If you want to give your radiator a little bit more breathing area, they also offer as an option, it's not standard, I included it in Dasmod store because I think it makes sense, but yeah, the standard, if you buy it from somewhere else or Barrow Direct, you have to purchase it separately. They have additional bracket for the radiator which only holds dual radiator, and you can actually move radiator away from the back of the motherboard tray, and this gives you enough fresh air to do proper cooling. I did it a little bit in non-orthodox way for the reason that I actually can insert in this tray any 120 radiator I want. So essentially, you see I already used triple here, which is sticking away, but I can, if I need to, I can test quad, no problem, or dual. So it's a very flexible situation. For that reason I do it this way, and you can see how it looks. So it's a little bit sticking out. It's not necessarily to do it if you actually build systems that you're going to use as an open concept type of computer case, basically. So for the mount of GPU blocks, there's a two options. One option is like me, you have those metal extensions that are working as a PCI bracket, your GPU in a standard position, and that's it. That's how it's exactly how it looks. That's what I did. On the pictures, and you can see that you also can mount GPU vertically if you want to do so. You have additional set of accessories that allows you to bolt additional bracket on the bottom of the case, and that will let you to do vertical mount. You have some additional parts for that, and they even provided you with a riser cable if you wish to do so. For me, it's zero benefits. It just yeah, make tube routing a little bit more awkward, and also removing and changing GPUs if I need to, also not very convenient. So for the computers that you just build and use, maybe vertical mount is making sense. but for me no. So that's how I do it. And the last part is would be for the components would be your reservoir for just random fluke holes and drilled provided by the standard, fits perfectly for the water-cooled heat killer reservoir. So the brackets, I did zero modification. I was able to connect this GPU reservoir right. You can see right there. So no problem whatsoever. It just fits up, and I put it in this position. So that's how I mostly use it. As I said, I use it on a long side, not on a short side. So it works absolutely no problem. Finally, how you'd like to finish your build, you might go with a soft tubing like I did. I did naturally. It's for the reason that I would like to change components all the time, and I have extra tubings, which allows me, it could be like different position of the ports or shapes, but it's an extra length that allows me to be pretty flexible. If I would build it like a final, maybe I will do it a little bit like shorter, or just go directly from port to port. So it could be different configuration, but that's possible. Barrow itself suggests that you do all hard tubing. It has examples how to do it. It's all pass-through holes for the hard tubing, so you put panel fitting into those positions somewhere, and you can go from this side, connect hard tube on this side, then continue on the back side, and this gives you necessary rigidity, so it's less, it's more sturdy to go through this through panel than just go through the hole directly, because this can be a little bit wobbly. So that's basically how you build with Mobula. I hope those couple notes that I did for you about this product is help you to see if it will work for you or not. Obviously you can create something more beautiful than I did. This is a strictly scientific device. That's why it's a little bit monstrous looks. But you probably can do something as Barrow suggested on the advertising picture, so to speak. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year for all of you, if I will be able to edit this video before New Year. And see you soon with the next one.